The Spring 2016 CAC Championship season kicked off in mid-April as the Christopher Newport golf team captured its third straight title in convincing fashion at Bay Creek Resort in Cape Charles, Virginia, led by individual champion Sam Robinson and 3 golfers among the top 4 finishers. The captains totaled 936 strokes throughout the 3-day event to defeat second-place Marymount by 21 strokes. Penn State Harrisburg finished third, with York 6 shots back of the Lions in 4th. Rounding out the team finishes were Wesley in 5th, William Patterson in 6th, and New Jersey City in 7th. Robinson fired scores of 74, 76, 79 for a 3-day total of 229, edging out teammate Joey Corlett by 3 strokes to claim the individual crown. Robinson becomes the 3rd straight CNU golfer to win the individual title, joining Jonathan Howard and Matt DeSalvo as champions. DeSalvo also finished in the top 5 for the captains, claiming 4th place, while Harry Nodwell and David Rabel also grabbed top 10 placings for the captains. Marymount's Cody Jamieson finished in 3rd place to lead the Saints, while teammate Keegan Boone placed 5th. The CAC Championship will return to Bay Creek Resort next year. Top-seeded Mary Washington and 2nd-seeded Christopher Newport squared off for the CAC Women's Tennis Championship for the 2nd straight year at the UMW Indoor Tennis Center. The Eagles came out firing in doubles play, capturing each of the 3 doubles points by 8-4 scores. Kate Brogan and Shelby Harris defeated McKinney Harwood and Alexandra Dry at number 1. Taylor Diffley and Mackenzie Smith topped Katie Carlson and Kate Huck at number 2. And Caroline Mosberg and Sarah Fioretti downed Isabel Wessel and Emily Morgan at number 3. In singles, UMW captured 4 of the 6 points to earn the final 7-2 victory. Harris pushed the lead to 4-0 with a 6-2, 6-0 win at number 2 singles over Carlson, before Diffley clinched the match for the Eagles at number 3 with a 6-2, 6-3 triumph over Huck. At the number 6 spot, UMW's Chrissy Gall topped Miley Connell 6-2, 6-4, while Mosberg won at number 4, 6-4, 6-2 over CNU's Claire Dockrell. The final 2 points of the match went to the captains, with Dry earning a 3-set victory over Smith at number 5, and Harwood outlasting Brogan 15-13 in a 3rd-set super tiebreaker at the number 1 spot. The CAC title was the 13th straight for the Eagles, who will compete in the NCAA tournament in mid-May. For the 2nd straight year, top-seeded Mary Washington hosted 2nd-seeded Christopher Newport in the CAC Men's Tennis Championship at the Battleground. In doubles play, each team posted convincing victories at the number 2 and number 3 positions. UMW's Patrick Hughes and David Lunding Johansson secured an 8-1 victory at number 3 over William Trang and Michael Dodd, while CNU's Justin Cerny and David Reed claimed an 8-2 win at number 2 over Eric Hurwitz and Nolan Paraguni. The number 1 doubles match was one to remember, as CNU's Chirag Shetty and Stephen Boslett battled back from an early 5-0 deficit to force a tiebreaker against UMW's Brandon Griffin and Matt Miles. Shetty and Boslett edged the Eagles tandem 9-8 to give the captains a 2-1 edge entering singles. Singles play was all Mary Washington, however, as the Eagles captured points at the number 3, 5, 1, and 4 spots to close out a 5-2 victory and claim their 17th straight CAC title. Hurwitz defeated Boslett 6-1, 6-4 at number 3. Hughes won 6-0, 6-2 over R2 Fiva at number 5. Griffin topped Reed at number 1, 6-3, 6-4, before Miles posted the match-clinching point with a 7-6, 6-2 triumph over Shetty at number 4. The victory sends the Eagles to the NCAA Championship Tournament. The 2016 CAC Softball Tournament was hosted by Salisbury, which earned the top seed with a 13-1 CAC regular season record. The double elimination tournament opened up with a pair of one-run contests, with 5th-seeded Mary Washington defeating 4th-seeded York 2-1 in the opener, and 2nd-seeded Christopher Newport edging 3rd-seeded Frostburg State 3-2 in Game 2. The 3rd game of Day 1 featured the host Seagulls and UMW, with Salisbury earning a 6-0 victory to advance in the winner's bracket. In the final game of Day 1 and first elimination game, Frostburg State outlasted York 7-6. Day 2 began with a winner's bracket showdown between the top 2 seeds, Salisbury and CNU, with a spot in the title game at stake. Behind a 6-run bottom half of the 5th, the Seagulls came out victorious 7-3. 8 of the 10 runs in the game were scored in the 5th inning, as the captains took a 3-1 lead with a pair of runs in the top half of the frame. The Seagulls answered with an explosive 6-run bottom half of the 5th to jump out to a 7-3 edge that they would not relinquish. The middle game of Day 2 featured Frostburg State and Mary Washington in an elimination contest, with the Bobcats edging the Eagles 3-2. After a brief rain delay, Frostburg State then faced off against Christopher Newport for a spot in the title round, with the captains running away with an 8-0 triumph, setting up the third straight meeting between CNU and Salisbury for the championship. In the title game, Salisbury completed its unbeaten run through the tournament with a 2-1 triumph over the captains, collecting its 19th overall conference championship and first since 2013. All three of the runs throughout the contest came in the opening frame. CNU jumped on top in the top of the first as Scoop Simon ripped a solo home run to left field. Salisbury answered right back in the bottom half of the first, spearheaded by Kim Dorsey's 2 RBI double to right field that scored Anna Brittingham and Paige Knussman. The remainder of the contest was a back-and-forth pitcher's duel, with Brittingham and CNU's Tara Heatwell each going the distance. Brittingham struck out 7 and walked 3 and surrendered just 5 hits in the victory, while Heatwell allowed 9 hits and struck out 1 with no earned runs to her name. With the victory, the 5th-ranked Seagulls earned the CAC's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. The championship weekend of the CAC baseball tournament took place in Frostburg, Maryland for the second straight year, as the top-seeded Bobcats earned the right to host the final days of the tournament on the strength of a 13-5 CAC regular season record. In the opening round, 2nd-seeded Marymount, 3rd-seeded Salisbury, and 6th-seeded Penn State Harrisburg each came away with convincing victories. On day 2 of the tournament, the host Bobcats opened the day by eliminating CNU 8-5. Penn State Harrisburg then fell to Wesley 10-6 in the middle of the 3 Thursday games, keeping Wesley alive in the tournament and giving the Lions their first loss. In day 2's final game, Salisbury became the lone remaining unbeaten after holding off Marymount 6-5 in the winners bracket. With the win, the Seagulls advanced to the semifinals. Inclement weather wreaked havoc on day 3 as just one game was played to completion. Marymount defeated Penn State Harrisburg 10-6 in an elimination game, sending the Lions home from the tournament. Friday's second contest between Frostburg State and Wesley entered the bottom of the 9th deadlocked at 13-all before being postponed due to rain and thunderstorms. The Bobcats and Wolverines resumed play on Saturday, with the Bobcats exploding for 11 runs in the top half of the 10th frame to claim a 24-13 victory and knock the Wolverines out of the tournament. Game 2 on Saturday featured Salisbury and 2nd-seeded Marymount, with the Seagulls edging the Saints 11-10. It was then on to the championship round, with a rematch of last year's title game between Salisbury and Frostburg State. This time, it was the Seagulls who exacted a bit of revenge, claiming their second one-run victory of the day, 9-8. Salisbury jumped out to an early 4-0 lead with a 4-run top of the second. The Seagulls went on to lead from start to finish, but the Bobcats remained within striking distance and put together a 3-run rally in the bottom of the 9th to fall just short. Leadoff hitter Kyle Goodwin led the way for SU in the championship with 2 home runs, 3 hits, and 4 RBIs, leading a 4-home-run game for the Seagulls. Jake Dimitrchik and Scott Ardoin also recorded homers in the victory for SU, while Pete Grosso earned the win on the mound with 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, and Ian Scheidemann registered the save, pitching the final 4 frames. Devin Bell led the Bobcats with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored, while Zach Keeler also blasted a round tripper in the defeat. The Christopher Newport men's track and field team won the program's first ever CAC Outdoor Championship, as the captains capitalized on 4 individual titles to claim the conference crown at Frostburg State's Bobcat Stadium. CNU posted 200 points to outdistance runner-up Salisbury by 57. Wesley finished 3rd overall, while York, Penn State Harrisburg, Frostburg State, and Mary Washington rounded out the team scores. CNU notched 4 individual titles, including the only championship meet record of the weekend from Charles Pruitt in the 10,000 meters. Other individual champions for the captains included Evan Fabish in the 3,000 steeplechase, Wesley Shreves in the high jump, and Jonathan Graham in the pole vault. Salisbury was paced by yet another standout performance from senior Luke Campbell, who earned Athlete of the Year honors in the final CAC meet of his career. Campbell captured 4 gold medals, 2 individually and 2 as part of relays. Schmelz, George Martinez, Matthew Adedeje, and Mike Milliman also notched first-place finishes for the Seagulls. Wesley's Anthony Simpson continued his strong freshman campaign with a victory in the 100 meters, earning Rookie of the Year accolades. Carlton Shepard was also victorious for the Wolverines in the 800, while Devon Trader took top honors in the long jump. York was led by gold medals from Darnell Tillman and Grant Dell. Tillman won the 200, and Dell raced to first in the 5,000. Penn State Harrisburg made the biggest jump in the standings at this year's meet, posting 47 points in just its second year of CAC competition. Cameron Yon led the Lions with a title in the discus. Frostburg State's J.R. Lowry, the 2016 Indoor Athlete of the Year, posted another strong CAC meet with titles in the shot put and hammer throw. The Christopher Newport women's track and field team secured its third consecutive CAC championship as the captains won 6 individual titles to clinch the team crown at Frostburg State's Bobcat Stadium. CNU posted 178 points, outdistancing runner-up Salisbury by 50. Wesley took third place, while York, Mary Washington, Frostburg State, and Penn State Harrisburg rounded out the team scores. Logan Harrington and Athlete of the Year Jennifer Westerholm led the way for CNU with 2 individual titles apiece. Harrington won the 800 and 1500 for the second straight year, while Westerholm took top honors in the 400 hurdles and long jump. Also claiming gold for the captains were Lydia Cromwell in the 3000 steeplechase and Rookie of the Year Jessica Brownell in the pole vault. Salisbury received first place finishes from Chanel Beaudoin and Megan McGowan. Beaudoin broke the CAC championship meet record in the 400 meters, while McGowan won her third straight high jump title. Wesley recorded 5 gold medal marks, with 4 coming in the sprints and relays. Eliza Streeter secured 3 golds, winning the 200 meters for the third straight year and also contributing to record-breaking 4x100 and 4x400 relays. Alexa Mitchell won the 100 and was also part of the 4x100 relay, while Monshia Newsom-Murray also claimed gold for the Wolverines in the triple jump. York received gold medal performances from Kathleen Cannon in the 5,000 and Alicia Dillman in the 10,000 in a championship meet record time. Mary Washington shined in the throws, with Cherie Turner collecting top honors in the discus and hammer, and Taylor Cockerill winning the shot put. Frostburg State and Penn State Harrisburg each had 1 individual champion, as Frostburg State's Zoe Harris won the javelin, and Penn State Harrisburg's Ashley Williams won the 100 hurdles. The Salisbury women's lacrosse team captured its 14th consecutive CAC championship with a 12-5 triumph over St. Mary's at Seagull Stadium. St. Mary's got on board first, as Tori Poffenberger notched an unassisted goal just over a minute into play. The first half was all Seagulls after that, however, as the hosts scored 7 straight goals to enter halftime leading 7-1. After the intermission, the Seahawks cut the SU lead to 5 at 8-3 on another Poffenberger tally at the 22:09 mark. But the Seagulls received 3 straight goals in the middle of the second half from Dana King, Lindsay Wagner, and Gabby Neves to put an end to the Seahawks' run. Salisbury successfully ran time off the clock with methodical offensive possessions down the stretch, securing the 12-5 victory. Neves was key on both ends of the field, scoring a hat-trick and also compiling 5 ground balls and 2 caused turnovers. Megan Wallenhorst notched 2 goals and 3 assists to lead the Seagull attack, while King added a goal and 2 assists, and Hannah Young scored twice. Gianna Falcone was stellar in net for Salisbury, making 8 saves and surrendering just 5 goals. Poffenberger notched a hat-trick to lead St. Mary's, while goalkeeper Kayla Dunn turned away 6 shots in the loss. With the victory, the Seagulls earned the CAC's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament and improved to 16-2 on the year. In the CAC Men's Lacrosse Championship, York captured its first ever CAC title with a dramatic 10-9 road victory over top-ranked and previously unbeaten Salisbury at Seagull Stadium. It was a historical win for the Spartans, as they entered the title showdown with 0 wins against Salisbury in program history. Prior to the championship game, the Seagulls were 22-0 against York since the Spartans started men's lacrosse in 2000. The Spartans, seeded second in the CAC postseason, led from start to finish to hand the Seagulls their first loss of the year. The Spartans came out firing from the start, jumping out to an early 3-goal edge on first quarter unassisted tallies from Andrew Gamble, Brendan McGrath, and Dylan Hanna. The Seagulls answered with back-to-back scores from Nathan Blondino and Thomas Cirillo to close out the frame, with York leading 3-2. McGrath scored twice for York in the second quarter to help the Spartans push their lead to 6-3 at the half. In the third quarter, Salisbury pulled within 7-6 on back-to-back goals from Nick Garbarino, before Gamble pushed the Spartan lead to 8-6 with his second score late in the third period. Leading 8-7 with time winding down, Gamble and Hunter Davis scored within a minute's span to stretch the York lead to 10-7 with a little over 5 minutes remaining in the contest. Salisbury made a furious push to make things interesting late, as Garbarino and Blondino notched scores at the 1:44 and 1:17 marks respectively to make it 10-9 with just over a minute left on the clock. Salisbury won the ensuing faceoff and had a potential game-tying shot from James Burton carom off the post with 48 seconds left. The Seagulls retained possession off the miss, but York's Josh Kluver caused a turnover with 30 seconds left, and the Spartans ran out the clock to preserve the dramatic victory. Gamble and McGrath led the way for the Spartans' attack with 3 goals and an assist each, while Davis scored twice and Hanna posted 1 goal and 1 assist. Kluver spearheaded the defense with 5 caused turnovers, and goalkeeper Caleb Abney notched 10 saves in net. Garbarino and Blondino each scored multiple times for the Seagulls, while goalkeeper Colin Raymond turned away 10 shots in the defeat. York's title marks the fourth different CAC champion in the last 7 years, as the Spartans joined Salisbury, St. Mary's, and Stevenson as recent CAC champs. With the victory, the Spartans earned the CAC's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.